All right, welcome back to another episode with the Waflmn. Our first topic is very unfortunate. Just going to address the elephant in the room. Queen Elizabeth II has unfortunately passed away.
Oh,
and
man.
it's King Charles now. And if you guys didn't know, it's for the first time ever, they sang God Save the King, not Save the Queen.
Is that a joke?
No,
I didn't even know that.
Oh, because they have to change it. They have to change
Are
the
they
anthem.
two different songs?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because the whole national anthem is God Save the Queen. But it's a king now,
right.
so then I think they just changed whatever queen.
So
became,
every
just changed
school
that
kid
again.
that's kind of taught the national anthem now has to sing the
Sing
king
a
version?
new version of it, yeah.
Is it
That's
just the
actually-
word change?
I haven't listened
Okay.
to it
That's actually
fully,
insane. When
but
you
I
think
don't think it's just the word change because in it says she says and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So they
that's
probably
right, yeah.
changed a little bit more.
Imagine your kids like growing up, like learning the national anthem, and suddenly one day he has to just switch everything.
Yeah,
Like king, queen. That's
good point.
I mean, like the Queen. I mean, like I've seen a lot of like videos where everyone loves her. Like literally, there's every good word says about her. So
What'd she do though?
yeah. I mean, I'm not too
Dude,
exactly.
the
sure.
thing is,
Born
we
in
all
the
don't know,
family,
Yeah,
right?
we don't know,
She's
but I'm
just
sure
born in
she
the
has a
royal
lot of.
yeah.
Being in the royal family, you have that expectation to do a lot of things. And
She did have a lot of haters as well, though.
Oh, did she?
Like I have seen on news people being like, "This is why you should be happy," or "This is why you
Should be
sad."
happy.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
people
because of all
going
the
off.
wars and
And
the
the
troubles,
colonization.
and
Because British
colonization.
yeah.
There's been a lot of that. But
Obviously, in perspective, it's very sad because she
Yeah.
had a family. Like it's a very long family as well.
100%,
Like
yeah.
she's got kids, they've got kids, they've got kids. So obviously, it's a little bit sad.
And I think a lot of like, I guess it's not just United Kingdom. A lot of the world who did, in fact, like the royal family, obviously they're affected by that as well.
Yeah.
So our condolences to the Queen. I mean, sorry, to the royal family for this.
But to be
And,
fair,
yeah.
I did watch a video recently, and I think Harry from the Sidemen also mentioned this, where they usually say that if you've been with a partner for over 50 years,
Yeah,
if the
I saw
partner
that.
dies, there is a higher likeliness that you
Oh,
may pass
yeah.
away too.
Yeah.
And because she obviously did lose her partner. So
Partner.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that could have been an
Bit
influence.
difficult. But I mean, she did. I'm sure she lived a good life. I'm sure she is happy.
96
96
was it?
So, yeah.
96.
Wait, so who's the next queen?
It's King Charles.
As in,
Yeah,
but the
but, like,
Queen
the-
down the line.
doesn't he
Is
have
it
a
like
son?
William's daughter?
So the next in line after Charles is, who's the oldest son? Is it
William.
And then William's son. William's other
daughter,
William's daughter, and then Harry.
Harry, and then their kids,
then
and etc.
But I don't really know if Harry's still a part of the system.
I mean, he doesn't want to associate with the royal family, obviously, but
yeah,
um,
like
How
in
come?
this moment, obviously.
because of how they've like mistreated like Meghan Markle, of like
And
how,
I guess because
like how they like mistreated
Bro, I
Princess
saw
Diana.
all of them.
Yeah,
Did you see
I
the
feel like
Donald
Diana was a
Trump?
big
He
thing.
posted the thing about.
Yeah.
That was funny as. It
Yeah.
what did
No-
you post?
was like Megan getting the will.
Oh yeah, and
yeah,
it was like $5.
£5.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like the is it like the deal
Dude,
or
I
no
don't-
deal?
I
Like
didn't
$5?
know Trump-
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe he posted that.
Wait, Donald Trump posted
Donald
I saw
Trump-
it too.
I didn't know Donald Trump posted that.
Yeah, it was on his
He was just like.
account. It was the first photo.
That'll be interesting.
Donald
I'm sure
Trump-
if we do,
Donald
we'll
Trump's
clip
just
it.
a
in
sad
Yeah,
edit
we'll
or
put it on the
something.
We'll put it on the
video.
clip.
That's
But
so funny. Donald Trump posted
He doesn't give a fuck.
But I think going from that topic, you said, what age is considered old? Was the topic that you guys saw? Is 30 old? Is 40 old? What would you guys describe as old?
I don't think 30's old. I feel like 30's when you're in your prime. Because
Yeah. When do you guys think we're gonna be in our prime?
I think 20.
Because I don't think we're in our prime right
within
now.
the
37,
next
32.
5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
I
37,
reckon.
32.
Like,
27.
27.
Because
To 32, that
What's a
age.
prime, bro? Like
Your
like,
prime age?
Like we're prime now to like chase our goals,
is-
but like 30's
yeah.
like prime for a family.
is it like where
Yeah,
you've
like,
achieved
even
every,
physically
a
as
lot,
well.
physically, you've achieved a lot of things. You're emotionally
Mentally.
really unstable, financially stable. I mean, if you're talking about that
Bro, I'd
stability,
say 5 years old then, bro.
honestly, yeah.
Bro, you're at your peak.
Yeah, shit, we've gone past our prime
No.
already.
No, I get what you
Prime
mean,
sponsor
yeah.
us. No, I reckon. Well, in terms of sports, most athletes, it's usually around 27 to 32,
Late
where they're
20s,
like
yeah.
in their peak.
In their peak, yeah.
But there's obviously like people who go way past that, like Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, or whatever. But I'd say 27, 32.
I think it's
Yeah.
also because like they get like a lot of experience backed up in that 20 to 25, 26 range. So when they carry it on to the 27 to so-called 32 range, right?
Yeah.
They're like technically in their prime because they've seen the hardships to get there, maybe. I mean, that's why I think stability-wise, prime is called 27 to 32. But
And I
mean,
guess, like, oh no, sorry, keep going.
oh my God.
I guess that's when you like think about starting a family. Like, you, by that point, you probably have like a job. or like a profession that you're into.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you don't have to like worry about uni or school or anything like that.
Life's a bit more settled.
Yeah.
things are-
Yeah, like you have an
Very
idea
smoothly.
of what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is
But yeah, coming back to like that thing of like, what age do you reckon old is? I was actually having a chat to my parents about this, right? Because like obviously in like the Indian community, right, there's a lot of uncles and aunties here and there who always think they're old at a very young age, in my opinion. But they always get that image of like, oh, I'm too old now. I'm too old now. And obviously, like my parents, after hearing that, they can't help but think
Yeah.
if they're also getting old and stuff. So I'm like always telling them like, no, you're not getting old. But kind of raises the question of like, I don't think you're even old at the age of 50 or 55 or 60 in my opinion, because I feel like
I agree.
they've like only started like a family for like 10, 15 years. They're only getting settled and starting to live their lives apart from having a family as well. So I don't know if I would even call 55 to 60 old. I maybe a bit after that that title might come in.
Senior
Yeah.
is like 65, right?
Yeah,
Pretty sure,
exactly.
right?
So even at the age of
60,
65, I don't know, bro. Like, because I feel like people start to worry themselves, like start to worry a lot at the age of 30 or 40 even about like,
About like, oh, I'm getting too
I'm
old.
getting too old. And I'm like,
Right.
are
But
you
I think
though?
it could be a generational thing, because think about it, like our parents and their parents. Because as the years have gone on, human life expectancy has gone up.
Yeah.
So they were, like, I know my parents, for example, like in their early 20s, they were trying to like get families,
Yeah,
get settled. Like
true,
our
true,
age,
true.
some of them were married, had kids.
Mm.
So I guess for them, they're like, oh, this is old for us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for us, we're like, no, that's not old. Like 50, 55
That's
is still
true.
still pretty good.
'Cause
So-
what's, yeah. No, like what's considered old then? Like I feel like you're old when you think you are. You know?
89.
Yeah.
Because like when you're 60, you can still be like, I know surfing,
You
like
can still
still
be doing a lot of
Exactly.
Yeah,
things.
like
yeah.
making businesses, things like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You can, or like people like 25, they might just go up on life and just settle, right?
That's true.
Exactly.
So why they're not old then as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it depends like on yourself.
So it's just old. Like
It
the
varies,
concept
yeah.
of old is just subjective.
Yeah. Because if
Yeah,
you
like-
just tell yourself every day, I'm old, I feel old, you'll start,
Yeah.
that's just what happens. Like you will start becoming old.
100%.
So it's all relative.
Life is relative.
Right.
You're the main character.
Everyone's NPCs,
Alright, okay, so
non-playable characters.
so I heard the other day I saw on TikTok where there was a thing called beige flags. So
Beige?
I don't know
Oh.
if you guys heard about it. You know how there's like green flags,
Mm.
red flags. So there's this thing called beige flags. What beige flags is, it's signs that you are considered boring. So that's what
Isn't
it
this
is.
beige?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So,
we're pretty.
so what I
yeah.
mean is like, they'll be like, oh, so if you have a Tinder bio that says, do you like pineapple on pizza? Like something like that, you signs that you're boring.
Bro, that's
If
a
you
red
talk about
flag
that.
anyway, bro. What the fuck?
And then stuff like,
No, just if you have to ask that, like,
Pineapple on
bio.
pizza or no? Like,
yeah, or
Tinder.
like those little topics like, oh, do you like
How's life?
coriander? Or do you like
is that a question?
like stuff like things
Okay,
you
yeah.
include in your bio?
yeah.
That assigns that you're a beige flag. So then there was one which was I didn't agree with. It was like using puppies in your like photos. I felt like I don't know if that's
alright.
boring, right? I felt that was.
I feel like a lot of guys do that to get.
But that,
Like it's
that
like a
is lot of-
guarantee kind of
Female-
Yeah,
female
so-
attention. Like yeah.
And then there was one which was like mention any spreadsheets, like Excel spreadsheets.
Oh, that's green flag.
We use
I
it
don't
for
know
our
why.
gym routine. Are we
Yeah,
boring?
exactly.
That's a green flag, bro.
Guys, comment down below if you think we're boring.
Just 20 comments. Like yo.
yeah.
Alright, so what would be beige flag
Yeah,
for
what
you
do you
guys?
think of beige flags? I think the pineapple on pizza, I kind of agree. Like, if you
Like,
are
it's just
talking
generic
about
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like, just generic
that
stuff.
sounds boring.
Pineapple pizza.
Like what kind of beige flags do you
Yeah.
reckon like is actually like a beige?
Like in people in general, or like girls, or
No, just in general. Like, what do you
General.
see if
Is
you
cats
assign-
versus dog considered that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
If they're
Just
going out at people posting puppies.
posting like,
they'll be like, oh, you're
are you,
basic.
are you
Don't talk
like
about
cats or
cats.
dogs?
I have
So-
a question,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm trying to figure out if it's a beige flag
Yeah.
in general. So like you know when people ask you, right? Oh, like what are you studying? Or like what have you traveled to X Y Z? Like is that a beige flag or is it like actually getting to know one another?
I
Like
feel like that's a conversation.
Context.
starter.
Yeah,
Context,
it's
okay.
context. Because like if you haven't seen someone for so long,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
those are generic questions to
Yeah.
ask, right? Like I wouldn't say anything bad
Yeah.
about it. But if you're close with someone
Yeah.
and that's all they talk about, then that might be a bit
yeah.
like.
So okay, let me like build on that, right? So let's say I'll ask you a question. What's a question when someone asks you that's so generic that you get really, really like kind of not frustrated, but you're like, ah.
You hear it all the
Like
time.
you hear it
yeah.
all the time. Like I mean, maybe that.
When are you getting married?
Do you get that a lot?
I get it all
You're
the time.
22, cuz.
My sister gets it all the time too.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
When
Is
are
it
you
from
getting
like
married?
uncles, aunties?
I don't know. We'll see.
Uncles, aunties?
Yeah.
That's
They were like, oh, you're what, 22?
I guess so.
Your
Not
your
gonna
mum's mum
lie.
was already having kids by this
Not
point.
gonna-
When are you getting
Yeah.
married?
I guess so. That is, but that's not something we would
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's more uncles,
I
aunties.
don't
'cause
think that's ever crossed my mind to like,
Like,
maybe because we're not at that age, right?
when are we getting married and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
maybe
Like,
a
I
common
never
one is
thought
like,
to
what
ask.
job do you do?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Or
very,
like,
very
yeah.
what do you study in
What do you
uni or
study,
something?
yeah.
I feel like that's a very common question.
Do you get like irritated by that at times? Like, because obviously if you don't get irritated, I reckon I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it a beige flag
Yeah.
because you're like,
No.
Because that'd be a
It-
red flag, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Red flag?
I-
But them just asking
I mean,
you.
no, not.
You
I mean,
ask
not,
me what I do.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Wait,
He
if
said
you're,
that.
If you're boring, isn't that an automatic red flag?
Like if you're.
But what if there's someone who likes boringness, and
Then you're also a red flag.
then red flag,
red flag and red flag go
Work
together?
together.
Yeah, no, I mean.
It would if you've told someone and they asked multiple times. Because I've had so many people that you've talked to them. You don't really talk to them. You'll tell them, oh, I'm doing this at uni. A week later, they're like, oh, what do you study at uni? What do you study
Oh,
at uni?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
I told you like a week
Like,
ago.
what's on your syllabus? Like, what's on your curriculum? Like, you know,
No.
like.
I think like people that don't pay attention to you when they say stuff, like they'll catch up, like talk to
Yeah,
you, and then
yeah.
you don't see them for a while, and they'll ask the same questions again.
Yeah,
That's
I think one
that'd
thing
be
I've
a
felt
bit
really
frustrating.
irritated at is like obviously like, when they ask me like, oh, what job do you do, right? My job's a bit like it takes a bit more time to wait. What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say, oh, so do you know how to code?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, you
Okay.
know what I
He's
mean?
really good
I
at
hate
coding.
that. I hate that question when they ask me like, oh, do you know how to code? Is that the
Yeah.
green text that comes on
Wait,
the
can
TV
you?
screen? Like,
Can you make like websites and
stop it, man, stop it. No, but the question
just-
I get
yeah.
irritated by, right? So I go into like a bit of depth when they ask me like, what do you do? Because it takes a bit of explanation to tell them what my job
What you
actually
actually do,
what
yeah.
actually do. And then next time when they come to me, they're like, so you're that like coder, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
code
just
monkey?
undermined my entire
Yeah, right,
job
got
like in
you.
one word. So that's a question I get kind of irritated by. But wait, do you get that? Like
I guess sometimes like it's hard to fully describe like what you really do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not
People-
sus,
yeah.
by the way. Like I can explain it to you guys
Yeah.
for context, and so can he.
but yeah, it's just,
This guy's
I get
paranoid now after the last podcast.
Dude,
I get
after
it.
like TikToks and everything, I'm like paranoid as shit.
He's a very well behaved.
Your walking
Kid.
disclaimer, like before you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just need
Proceed
like a
with caution.
walking caption to explain whatever I do now. But
Nah, just be yourself. Live life.
Yeah, just-
Guys, live life.
Speaking
Life.
of doing things by yourself, what
oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah. So
topic
I had
that you
I had a
right?
topic to bring up the other day, right? So for context, I've never really gone to watch a movie by myself in the theaters, right? Or like, I mean, obviously I go shopping by myself and stuff like that, and I find that quite therapeutic, right? But I've never actually gained that. How do I say it? Like, it's like a kind of a bit of a fear. I've never got myself to go watch a movie in theaters because I'm like, even though I love movies,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
You
are
want
they
to watch it with people?
well, it's not that I don't want to. I want to watch it with people, but rather I'm like, oh, is it going to be weird? Am I going to feel like a bit lonely in that sense, right? So I actually had a question. So last week I was kind of contemplating going to watch a movie by
Yeah.
myself because I really loved it. Obviously, my friends weren't that keen on that movie, but I really
Yeah.
wanted to go watch it. So my question to you is, would you like? What are your thoughts on like doing stuff by yourself that like people normally would go together in groups and stuff, and just kind of enjoying yourself? Because I want to start doing that a lot more. But I mean, do you guys have any thoughts?
Well, I have a question, right? When you're like at home alone, like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
your room and stuff, you watch movies
Of
and like
course,
TV
yeah.
shows and things alone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So why is it an issue if you're just watching a movie? Going to theater is basically watching a movie. If you just be like, oh, I'm just by myself, like
Yeah.
at home.
Is it the effort? Is it?
I think it's not the effort, right? Like, and I
Is
think
it specifically movies? Like I feel what you mean. It's
I'll
just
go
mainly
with you,
movies.
but then that
Oh,
defeats the
so-
purpose.
No, but then you sit at the front, he sits at the back.
for me, like personally,
Oh.
for me, I think the breaking point has been movies because I've like what I've ate food by myself.
Yeah.
I've like
Really?
gone
Gone
shopping
gym
by
by yourself,
gym
shit,
by
yeah.
myself. I've gone like I mean yeah, I've gone
Let the
shopping by
man
myself.
speak.
Like I don't know like what else there is to do
Yeah,
by yourself,
guess
and I
maybe
feel
that's
like since movies are such a huge part of my life, if I can like I mean obviously I want to do that now. Like so I think that's
You hear something like mind blowing?
what.
Even if you go with someone to the movies, you're still technically watching it by yourself because you're always
just-
in your head.
Because everyone's an NPC except yourself. So you're always doing everything.
This guy knows. You know.
No, I get what you mean because I've never been to a movie by myself. I think I did once. I'm not sure what it was. Quite recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean by that statement. But I don't ever feel it's bad. I guess
I
it's
don't-
just
You
the
feel lonely.
general.
I
Like,
don't
because it's
think
movies.
I
you
don't
feel
think
like
it
you
will
go yourself.
feel lonely or bad. Or I think it's just because I've been very used
Used
to
to it.
used to watching
Yeah.
a movie and then talking to people on the side like, oh my god, this is so exciting, right?
It's
And
like
then-
an event you go
Yeah,
to.
Or
Normally,
even
like,
just the notion of going to the movies. I guess like we've been so accustomed to like going with the group or going
Yeah,
with
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like
a partner
theme
or
parks.
something.
Like,
Exactly.
you won't go theme parks usually by yourself. Nothing wrong with that. By going by yourself.
yeah, that's
It's
an
not
example
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Like,
Bro,
yeah.
do you know anyone who does that though?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
it's
I've
odd,
seen
but, like,
people,
It's
like-
not. It's not.
It's not like
strange.
Yeah,
right?
exactly
it's
right.
not strange
No,
by any
it's
means.
not, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like when you're going, no one's really gonna like no one outside is gonna really pay attention to
Yeah.
other
And
people.
even if they do, it doesn't
Even if
really
they do, it doesn't matter,
right?
right?
Like, it's
So-
your life.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I feel like people have their own mental areas, mental space. Because I feel like for me, in the shower is when I like think to myself,
yeah.
like do
What
a lot of
wonderful
reflecting and stuff like that.
world.
But some people have like different things. It could be during a movie or like when you're driving a car or something.
Hmm.
So like it's not a common thing, but like if someone said it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, look at you. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
And some people probably like it. Like they like doing things by themselves, like going to movies by themselves and stuff.
I think it could be really therapeutic. So you know
You
what?
give it a try.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually give it a try. So next time,
What's the next
Let
movie
us
that you're
know.
gonna watch?
next
Nope. Have you seen Nope?
We already talked about
Oh,
that.
that was the first podcast. I still haven't seen it. No, so
You can go Nope by yourself.
I could go Nope by
Yeah.
myself.
Go
Yeah.
see them in
Is it a horror movie again? Like I mean, I won't spend too
Nah,
much time
nah,
on it,
nah.
but it's a horror movie or not?
It's
Not
there's
really.
no ghosts and stuff.
All right,
You'll-
then I'm good. I don't do horror that well.
Leading to that, I have another question.
All right,
Yeah.
go on. Yeah.
Do you think your mental health is just as important as your physical health?
Yeah.
100%.
100%. I'd say probably even more.
A
So.
bit
Don't you
more.
think they're linked? Like.
Yeah, body,
Yeah.
mind, soul. Like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
Get that printed and put
I
on the
think
wall.
like once you control your mind, you can literally achieve anything. If you take control of it and actually set your mind to do something and have it in a strong place, you can achieve anything as long
I
as you
agree
put your
with
mind to it.
that.
Like that
Absolutely
saying
agree with
goes, like you put
Yeah.
your mind to something,
Yeah.
you can really achieve anything. So really, really important.
I mean,
so.
that example of like, for example, if you see like in hospital and things like that, when they're not physically that like doing that well, but like the only thing that kind of serves as a miracle in a way, it's like
True.
when they're like mentally like fit, when
Like
they're like
they're
motivating themselves, like
strong.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get through this. I'm
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
like e.g. like cancer patients or things like that when
Yeah.
they're going through like terminal illnesses.
that
The
is
only
true.
thing that's driving them to keep living in a sense is
Yeah.
Is the mental strength.
instrumental strength and
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But
Yeah,
no,
it's
that is
like,
true. That is
yeah.
very, very true. So.
I've
Because
been-
doesn't that tie back in? Like, if they've been married for 50 years, one partner dies, they just die
Yeah.
straight up. Don't you
It's
think
probably
that's
the mental.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
Well, they
That's
don't
a
have
good
a
point.
reason to keep living.
Because
Yeah.
in a way that
Pushing.
connection, like it's like a whole part of you has left you.
Yeah.
Because like for so many years, everything you do, you're like you do it together, and then one day you just can't.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, when you've become emotionally attached to one thing, and you're physically, like, imagine you've got, like, a six-pack, you're the fittest man on earth, or woman on earth, or anything, right, like that, right? And then one day, something you love just leaves. I think you'd break, right? Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's so sudden, right?
It's sudden, right?
Compared
Because-
to gradually.
Exactly, because on your physical health, you see your body transform every single second. Like, I mean, you see yourself in the mirror if you wanted to. The mental health, you don't really have a metric to see yourself in the mirror
Yeah.
apart from within. So,
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good
No,
point.
that's a good point.
yeah, like,
Mental health is important.
Very important.
do reach out, just as a shout out.
And I
if-
would recommend
like,
therapy
yeah.
as well.
We had
It does
there
help
was
a
like
lot.
Are You Okay Day recently. right?
Yeah.
That's 2 days ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. So.
Are you guys okay?
I am okay. Are
Are
you,
you guys
okay?
alright? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
alright.
You
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
okay?
not bad. Yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, you?
Living
I'm good,
life.
thanks.
Yeah,
What's your
beige,
name?
Beige flag.
Beige flag?
You okay?
Beige flag. Like,
Okay, so I have a topic which
Alright.
was Nico Omilano, right?
Oh.
Did you guys see his most recent YouTube video?
Bro,
Big
am
up
I,
to
Goated.
Theo.
am I a boomer?
You are out of it, but what happened
You-
was
I wouldn't say you're a boomer,
You're
but you
Nah,
are. a
you're
boomer.
Nico Avocado.
Not Nico Avocado.
The guy who
Even
eats
that
a
guy's
bunch of-
joke. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah.
Watch his first video to now.
so good.
Wait, what was his first video like?
So he used to be like super skinny.
Like, what do you mean by super skinny? Just like average or like?
No,
really,
like
really
skinnier than average.
Oh, really?
And then now he's just
He's like 200 kilos or something.
Um,
like an
just
OB.
from doing
Wait,
mukbang
Nico
videos.
Hamalana?
And he
No,
does,
no,
he does
no,
it on
Nico.
the
There's
back
a
there.
mukbang guy. Do
oh.
you know who he is?
No.
I think, yeah, there's this mukbang guy that does mukbang.
I was like, when did
Wait, so
Nico...
who are you
Not gonna lie, the
Nico
food-
Avocado.
no, not Nico Avocado.
no Nico Omilano.
Bro,
He's this
Because
British.
he looks like an avocado.
Wait, so he purely does mukbangs, right?
Yeah, but he does the grossest one.
Yeah, no.
And he will
It'll
just
be like-
force himself, like he'll have a tube in his nose for oxygen, and he'll still be feeding himself food.
Oh, dude, I can't. No.
No,
I mean,
no,
he's got fans, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
His very.
He's
They're all
popular.
trolls, bro. They're just trying to kill him, man.
But man, like it's not good for you, right?
and when
Yeah.
he eats it, he goes, "Oh, mama!" Like it's so retarded.
Anyways, back to
Yeah.
Nico Omilana.
That video.
So he's a British YouTuber, and he's known for his really good content. Like he
Yeah.
makes
Pranks.
like
Uh,
I don't know if you noticed or if you've ever seen it. His previous video before this was going to the most racist town in the world.
Yeah, like that was a
He
crazy
went to the
video.
like this
where was it? Brisbane?
somewhere in
In-
America. I was like,
Brisbane,
Brisbane's not that racist. Anyway.
guys, Brisbane ain't racist. Don't
No,
listen to this
Brisbane's a
guy.
good place. Brisbane's a good place.
I just clocked that. No, he went to like the headquarters or something. Like
Yeah.
in
He
like a
met
town
the
in
leader
America,
of
like
the
Ku Klux
KKK.
Klan.
Yeah.
And
Ku
he's
Klux Klan,
a
yeah.
dark-skinned person.
Nico's a
Nico's a dark-skinned
gun
man,
person.
Yeah.
and he
And he
met
met
the
the
leader
KKK.
of the KKK.
Like, imagine the
like
guts
Andrew,
to
you
do
would have
that.
to watch that video. Like,
It's
it
It's
is
a
insane.
genius video.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Because
then
it's hard to get to him. Like you can't really reach the leader of the
Yeah.
KKK, right? So he had to find his way and go through connections and plan
And
it all.
even
and,
even with
and then
his
what the
new
leader
video,
do?
he
Well,
met him.
had an interview.
He came as a BBC interviewer
Yeah,
or
BBC
something. Like
interviewer.
pretended to be a BBC
We won't
interviewer.
spoil it, but we won't spoil it. But you should definitely watch
You
it.
should
This
go-
is not some Borat type stuff.
It is literally
It
like
is,
that.
it is in a
Nico's
way.
like
It is in a way.
modern Borat.
Because
like,
he
in a
just
sense.
takes the piss out of everyone. No one has any idea that they're getting.
Yeah, he's just trolling him the whole time, but he had no clue he was being trolled.
Like he just
know?
trolls
Yeah.
everyone. Like with the fight with Deji and Fuzi, he goes
Oh,
up
did
to
he have a
Fuzi.
fight?
No, he
No.
didn't. But he went up to the people that were fighting, and he's like, "Your opponent's gonna smash you." And he's like, "What do you have to say?" He's like,
Like
"You're
he
gonna
went up
lose."
to like, so was it Logan Paul's coach? Was it
Yeah, Shannon Briggs, Logan,
And so
and
basically,
Jake.
he's like, oh, I want you, like, goes up to Logan Paul, holds a microphone, is like, oh, do you have anything to say to KSI? I'm going to teach something. I'm going to say it, like, if you say this in the Gaelic language, it's like, and he say, I'm a pussy, which is I'm a pussy, right?
Yeah.
But he says, if you say I'm a pussy, it means I'm going to beat you up, KSI.
Like
he convinces them to say it.
It's in a different language, but if you think of it in English,
It's just I'm a pussy,
yeah.
but he's like I'm a
He says-
pussy, and like he also gets him to say I'm a nonce, but he said I'm a nonce, so it sounds different.
Yeah.
So he just
And
tells
How's
them.
this real?
He's just a troll.
Bro,
Like,
he's-
bro, like,
he's so
He's a mastermind. Like,
he's
watch
an
his
actual
recent
mastermind.
video.
Yeah. So yeah, his recent video where we probably wouldn't spoil it too much, but like he pranked the boxing event, which was the KSI and Swarms and
And everyone.
Did he shriek it?
so no he
He legally streaked it.
yeah well I don't know you
I
gotta
don't know
watch the
what-
video.
Okay, I
It's
will
hard,
watch it.
but
Watch
like,
it.
homework.
I'll tell you about a previous video though. So like every fight he's been going to, like because of like his pranks and stuff, right? He gets banned because they're like, how can you come in and like you ruin like the reputation and so-called of this event, right?
Yeah.
He went in one time. Was it Dubai, the Ring Saeed one?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Was it Dubai?
Dubai.
I'm not sure.
not
It was like
sure. He
somewhere
went
in
a
like
few, yeah.
it was like in America. Sorry.
It was America,
He he was banned from a fight, right? So he dons like a costume. He puts on like a shake costume, like the whole thing.
What a legend.
And like he wants to get into the ring side of the boxing ring, right?
Yeah.
He calls himself Reng Saeed,
Yeah.
and then dresses up as a shake costume.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I am Adam Prince. I go in," and he just goes in.
Like no one said anything.
No,
He gets kicked out
gets kicked
eventually.
out eventually.
After so long, after he makes
Because
it
everyone
obvious
noticed,
it's
like
him.
all his friends notice him, but he's just like, "I am Reng Saeed. I am."
And
into
he's
the
walking with
boxing
like
ring."
a bag, being like, "I'm rich, I have money," and so people
he's
just
like-
let him in. They're like,
like-
"This guy must be VIP."
No.
Dude, he's like an
he's a
actual
funny guy.
like.
The plans he makes and all the
Oh, it's
videos,
crazy.
it's so good.
It's
Bro, I
crazy.
must be living under a rock.
No, it's a good.
No, it's
good
just because
YouTuber.
like British YouTube.
Nah,
like, it's like,
yeah.
but no, I highly recommend him and
That's
stuff
why
like
we're here to introduce you.
Andrew,
Thanks.
you have a topic
Yeah.
you want to go to?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, my topic is a bit off topic, right?
Yeah.
But
That's what we like.
let's say if you were dating a girl, like how many partners like is too much for you guys to deal with?
I think a high number is triple digits. If you're having triple
Triple.
digits, is
God.
heaps. It's
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
a lot.
nah,
That is a
that's-
lot.
That's a lot. But
That's
Yeah.
Maharshi level.
See how he's blushing as well? Like it's true. Like
I'm saving till my
Maharshi's mom, sorry.
No. So I think this is just how I personally think. I feel like triple digits, yes, yes, fair enough. But I don't think you should ever judge someone based on that, because the past is
the
always
past.
different to the future. Because you may have a phase when you're like 18, 19, where you're just partying every night, like living the time of your life, going to like raves and shit, and then
Why are you looking at Andrew, man?
But yeah, I think it does. Our Bless the Mess episode, we discussed a little bit of that. We had a question.
Oh, yeah,
there,
there was some
exactly,
girl-
What
yeah.
was it?
She pumped like 100 in like a year.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
then-
100 in a year.
Yeah, you guys will
So
see.
what's
it.
that?
It'll be
Like
good.
twice a week?
No, that's
100 divided
in a
by
year.
52. It's like 1 point
These are-
something.
these
a
are
year.
That's
separate
one every 3
partners.
days. A different guy
Yeah.
every 3 days.
Yeah.
Fuck. it's putting
But
in-
then, like, obviously,
That's a
people
full-time
change.
It's like
job.
Monday will be you, Thursday will be him.
That's a full-time job, man. That's
But
good.
yeah, I mean, people change, so you should like
Yeah.
them for who
Yeah,
they
I
are.
don't think
It
you
is-
should ever judge them based on the sexual partners. But if you had to put like a cap,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys say that though, but like realistically.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
realistically,
because I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be like.
subconsciously,
Yeah.
it's going to be a factor.
because it
Like
would
always.
be their personality. If they
Exactly.
slept with 1,000 people, that's probably a sign of their person. What are they like, anyways? Can they actually stay committed into a
Exactly.
relationship? So
Yeah, it brings some insecurities.
Yeah,
and like
that
overthinking
kinda
and
sense, so-
stuff.
And
Bro,
if
how do
you-
you even get 1,000 people?
yeah, well, you gotta, I'm sure.
That's
No, I
powerful.
swear there was these two girls or something I saw that they
Tinder.
are like they hold the record for sleeping with the most amount of men.
Like
What?
the same men?
No, like,
Oh, what?
like different men.
Oh,
There was these two. I'm pretty sure there was these two girls. If I can find it, I'll try and include in the edit. But like, there's these two girls. They held the record for sleeping with the most amount of men.
Why is this a record? Why is it
I don't
being
know.
flexed?
It was. It was
So,
crazy.
are you
The
telling,
numbers were crazy. That was,
so they did
was
it
it-
to get a record?
yeah. I don't-
Maybe, or maybe they just didn't realize and like, oh, I have a record.
something like that. It
They
was-
probably write it down in a book. They're like Tuesday,
Bro, have you
Wednesday,
seen
Thursday,
people like
Friday.
that? Like
Oh,
I've
yeah,
heard
their
of people,
diary
like the
there.
diaries, like
Do
or the
they?
names of the
Yeah,
people
they
they
have like
slept with.
list. They'll be like, they
Who?
can name you their 50. They're like,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
name
name
every
this
single
Yeah,
person,
and then
right?
they describe like the event.
I've seen
the
someone's
night.
book, like someone's book. Like, they're not even my friend, but I've seen someone's book with a name and the tally beside it, like 5.
A tally?
Like how many times they've slept with that person, and how many
then-
times like
Bro,
the
if
name
they
of the.
put this
that's
time and
messed.
effort into anything else,
I know,
they'd
right?
probably be somewhere.
Bro, like the fact that like I was just randomly like meeting up with them, like meeting up with a
Excel
group of
spreadsheet.
people.
Were
They-
you one of them?
I don't what? I'm still
No comment.
No
from
comment.
the-
No, but dude, they literally like we were talking about some random stuff, right? And like suddenly just brings out like a book, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Bro,
This is a guy.
Well, so
Guy
he just
like
shows you the book. He's like, look, this is what I did today.
in a
So
nutshell."
you
like,
weren't the next tally.
so, no, no,
No, he shows it to him and he writes his name down.
no. The context
It's
was.
like Death Note, but
Oh, I eat
But
up what
But a
What
different
it
kind
says.
of note.
No, the context was right.
Yeah.
Like we were asking each other, like in the group, like, oh, what'd you do for the weekend and stuff like that, right? Everyone's like, oh, I went to the beach, I did like a golfing,
beige
I
flags.
begged, you know, all that
Beige
stuff.
flag.
Man comes in,
Yeah.
he's like,
Went to Garba.
brings out like a book, and it's got
Heritage.
names, it's got
Yeah.
tallies, and I'm like, what does this mean?
Is there like a description as well? of
No,
the
no,
girl
no.
and stuff?
It's just assumed. So you bring out a book, and he's just like name, tally. I'm like, what's this reference? And he's like, oh, this is just the like number of people and the times I've slept with.
Not
And I'm like,
LinkedIn connections.
well, why is there a tally for LinkedIn connections? No, but I saw that. I
Bro,
was just,
he's got issues.
That,
like,
That's
the fact that he flexed it. I'm like, keep it to yourself, King.
the fact that he thinks of it as a flex as well. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I don't know. It's just
Ain't about that life.
yeah,
yeah. Like,
no good.
no,
But yeah, I've seen like some people have like full on
I've
descriptions.
seen
of,
that
like,
too.
Oh, like their bathroom has this.
Like I've seen
their
like
bathroom.
What,
bathroom
they're a
has,
real
like,
estate
a-
agent now.
Oh, it's not that clean. Like it'll
Oh.
describe the scenario.
Like-
Like, it's just like they just describe the night essentially, like how the night was. Oh, it was really good. This part
Like
was
a
really
journal
good.
kind of thing?
Essentially, like
Journal
yeah,
article.
literally the
They're like-
journal.
So you
Dear
went
diary.
on it.
Yeah, literally like that.
Yeah, I'll ask you like 4 times.
Because leading on to that, all right, like, have you guys ever wondered, because I think we're all into the opposite sex, right? We're all
Yeah.
into girls, right? But have you guys ever thought about dating guys? Because, how do you know otherwise? Or what goes through your head?
Obviously, like I feel like it's like passed through my head, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it would have passed through everyone's head here of like, what if, like the speculative thing of like, what if
just
we dated a guy, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I guess personally,
Yeah.
I've never had that thought in a way. I've always been attracted to like females.
like yeah,
Like, it
like
hasn't ever
I'm
crossed me.
attracted to like women, but I'm obviously like not gonna go against like be like, nah, you can't.
But then with the boys, it's obviously different, you know. Like,
Because like,
But-
I feel like
yeah.
I get along with you guys like so much better than like my best female friends, right?
Yeah,
Just some.
yeah.
Hopefully they didn't.
Don't have to rate him.
Hopefully they
He's not
didn't
talking
go
about
like-
you.
Cut this out of the edit, man. We need to save our boys.
He's not talking about you.
You guys are nice.
And just like,
No, but like
but
we
yeah,
get
I get
along
what
quite
you mean,
well,
yeah.
like on
Yeah.
a personality
Yeah,
level.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you guys like female, like we'd probably be dating.
Yeah, like you wouldn't argue, like you'd know to have fun and all that stuff.
And
Like
even
if you
if
had
we
boobs
did
in an
argue-
ass, Lewis, better watch out.
See how he left us out of the criteria?
No, I know your parents wouldn't approve of me.
But yeah, I get what I mean.
God.
I think like I
exclude.
was gonna say, yeah, I get what I mean. Have you ever considered?
No,
Like I
but-
can say, I'll be like, I can see like a guy's attractive. Like I'll be like, oh, this guy's good.
Yeah,
looking.
yeah. Like I'll
Like
say
oh,
that.
he looks good, but I never really thought of it like
Anything else.
romantically, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
maybe it was just how it is. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, obviously, like, I haven't thought of them like thought of that in like a romantic sense. But I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I respect it. Like,
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like it's like
Like,
so,
it-
so
So just
what?
think
Like,
on like a mindset and like how we think. So I think we click pretty well.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's why we're all on
Yeah.
board with the podcast.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like
of
that,
course,
right?
Been
And
friends
that
for
why,
like 10
yeah,
years,
exactly.
Nah, that's kind of come up in my head at times. I'm like, bro, I'm like vibing like with my guys, right, and stuff like that. Like that actually thought has come up.
Yeah.
Like when it's like,
To date them.
like not to like date them, but like as a romantic thing, you would want these kind of qualities, right? And like I do
Yeah, that's true.
see it in like a lot of like male friends that I have, but obviously sometimes I wish like I wish like my female friends at times, but like
Had
not-
some of those qualities.
like some of those qualities. But then again, that's just because maybe it's the comfortability that we achieve. But that's not to say.
Yeah,
that-
because I feel like with us as friends, like we're just very open. We joke about
That's
everything.
true.
We have similar interests. We like watch similar things
Yeah.
as well. So I guess we have a lot to talk about.
yeah.
Whereas like if someone who's completely different to you wouldn't always be talking
Yeah.
to them.
And
Like,
I'm
you'd-
sure women go through that same thing as well. Like,
Yeah,
when, like obviously
absolutely.
like women
Absolutely, of
like
course.
share so much like qualities and like experiences together, right?
Alright, stop. This video is sponsored by the Waflmn, the greatest group in the world. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share to all your friends. Okay, thank you. Now back to the video.
okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Moving
So, you guys are not into F1, are you?
I am.
I literally
Actually,
know.
yes.
We're
nothing.
watching it tonight.
Because
Like-
I was also not a fan until last year, and
Yeah.
I got recommended to watch Drive to Survive. And after
Netflix?
watching it,
Is that
yes,
documentary?
it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It goes through seasons. After watching it, I'm like, this sport is amazing. Like, there will be people be arguing, being like, oh, it's not even a sport, blah, blah, blah. Watch the documentary. Watch the series, and you'll enjoy Formula One. Because it goes through how they actually make the cars, the training the drivers have to go through. Because you imagine, like, you're going like 380 kilometers an hour, and you're doing like sharp turns
It's
and that.
insane, yeah.
And there's crashes, and there's like people crashing into each other and shit. Like, it's actually really.
Have
really
you?
interesting to watch.
I was watching this like Lewis Hamilton interview recently. Like I mean, like a while back as well.
Yeah.
And he was saying how like you like, do you ever think like if you're in like a F1 sport, a lot of people don't consider F1 to be a sport, like the you know like
Right,
a
yeah.
generic sport.
Yeah.
But like so for a sport, you would want to be like physically like fit, agile, and things like that, right? Have you ever thought that F1 people also have to be like physically agile? It's not. I feel like it wouldn't be the first thing to come to mind. It'll be more about
More about the
driving
driving.
I guess
skills and
so,
stuff
yeah.
like that, right?
But it would still be really
It would still be
100%.
important, right? But I didn't like notice how important it was until I heard Lewis Hamilton saying that they have to be the physically the
Yeah.
most fittest. They have
Yeah.
to make sure they control like their weight in a
Yeah,
sense because
100 grams could cost them
their
race,
lives,
basically.
like their races, their lives, because it goes into like the calculations of the car,
Mm.
like the aerodynamics of it and how well they drive as well. Like 100 grams, like
All
as-
those little fine
all those
details.
little things. 100
And
grams.
mentally, you have to be really
Andrew
I
Really
think
good
reaction,
physics.
reaction time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, reaction
Then they
time
train
is
their
important.
necks and stuff.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
they do like the next training, and then they do like all this training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Very
insane.
interesting.
F1's
I'd
a
recommend it.
great sport, man. Like
So you guys are watching it tonight? Is there,
Absolutely,
yes.
Is there a
100%.
special
Yes,
race
yes.
going
Yes,
on now?
it's-
There's one at 11 p.m. today.
it's the Monza one, right?
Yeah, Monza.
yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo won last year.
He's in
Ricciardo.
fourth place qualifying. So it's what Landon Norris third and
Yeah,
fourth.
so it's
like-
Leclerc and then Perez, I think.
was
So
it
a brief
Magnussen?
rundown of how it works, like
So there's 22 races in a year.
in a year, okay,
So approximately is every 2 weeks, but they have like space and stuff. So you have
around the
like,
whole world.
Yeah, around the whole world. And then you have, it's a weekend. So you start from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday is considered the practice round. So you go around, you practice, you get a
You
feel
test
of the
your
map,
car,
you get
yeah.
everything used. And then on Saturday, you have a third practice session. So there's 3 practice sessions. And then you have a qualifying session. So the whole goal of qualifying is to do the fastest lap you can get. And let's say we're racing against each other. I don't know if you've ever been go-karting or something like that. It's a similar concept. So let's say I get 1 minute and 23 seconds. He gets 1 minute 24. I would start first. He would start second. It's like that. So that decides the grid for the race.
So do
and then the
people?
race
So
starts.
in the qualifying stage, they take it very very seriously?
Absolutely,
Like
yes.
they want to be
Yeah.
number one.
Because of it, it's a lot harder to win being at the back compared to
Yeah.
being at the front. Because it's a lot it's a lot
And
easier
it's
to
just
get a good
yourself.
start.
You're qualifying. Like
Yes,
that one car.
yeah.
Do
Okay,
people
yeah,
still
that's it.
clutch it though?
People have
yeah,
clutched it
all the
before
time, all
so
the
many
time,
times. Yeah.
And because the way it is every car is different. It's
Yeah.
based on who you're racing for in the company. So like you see progression, and like when a driver from a team that's not amazing wins, like it's amazing. Because like everyone expects the front runners to win, but then when someone else comes and wins, they're like it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's such a recent thing. Because, dude, everyone watches F1 now. But
It
like,
is,
I
it
don't
is,
think
it is.
Maharshi and I were into F1 until like the past year.
Yeah,
it was literally
and I
Drive to
reckon
Survive.
What
Drive
started
to
it?
Survive. Drive to Survive is
Drive
probably
to
a big thing
Survive
for it.
popped off.
It's a
during
very
COVID,
smart
bro.
marketing move by them.
It was like volleyball popped off with
Was it that
like-
MMA?
yeah.
on something like that. So
Yeah.
Now everyone plays volleyball.
yeah. Anyways, and then on Sunday they had their race.
Sunday they have the race, yeah.
Okay.
So there's lots of other rules as well, like crashes and things like that. But it's a good watch. It's a good watch.
It's such an amazing watch, just because it's not just players going like races going off against each other. It's also like teams. For example, like
Yeah.
Mercedes, like the car brand itself versus like
Like Red Bull.
Red Bull or like Ferrari. Like it's
Ferrari
like
and things like that.
it's a competition of not just people, but it's like competition against like legacies and brands and stuff like that. So it's actually like
And
super
because
insane.
like you imagine you're going like 380 kilometers or 40
Yeah.
or whatever, and you're literally like less than a meter away from the car in front of you. Like you can imagine how dangerous that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But that's why you need like the reaction time and like the readiness to move away and
crazy,
stuff.
Bro, I think I'm like the coolest guy on earth when I'm like speeding like at 100 or 105 and things like that.
Queensland Police.
Oh, stop it. I'm just exposing myself. But like, you know what I mean? Like at 100, 105, you're like thinking like, oh,
It's
you're
already
like,
quite fast.
You're like already fast. And these guys are like 10.
Triple times.
Triple.
Yeah.
What I do now is on roundabouts. Sometimes I'll pretend I'm an F1
I
driver.
know,
and
right?
just kinda, like, go over it.
Really?
And people behind me are like, what is this guy doing? Because like you go to a roundabout and then you like cut the curve.
We
and
should
shit
do
like
go
that.
karting.
Oh,
we
it'd
should
be
do
so-
a
Wafflmn did
Wafflmn
go-karting.
takes on go-karting.
yes,
Oh,
we'll
that'd
do
be
that.
so good.
That'd be
Leave a
good
like,
episode.
a comment
Can
if
we
you guys
take
want
a
to see
camera
that.
on while we're driving?
Like a
Yeah,
GoPro?
GoPros.
People do that. I'm like, how do they do that?
Yeah,
They put it on the
GoPros.
helmet.
Oh.
And they have a
It
GoPro.
was so fun when we did it. Like
It was very fun.
It was
It,
so
it gets competitive, but it's
Does
fun.
it- Who won?
I don't
Out of you
remember
guys.
who won.
I think
Who's the
we
best out of you
both,
guys?
as in we both had like we both were
Like near the top.
near
like,
the
oh,
top,
wow,
but
okay,
like
yeah.
sometimes he was ahead of me, sometimes I was ahead of him because we
and
had,
then there was
like,
one race where we crashed and
we
came
would
last.
crash. Yeah, we both yeah. it
At the
was-
start. So I just sent it, right?
Yeah.
I went on the inside, Navin's outside. I turn, Navin turns into me, takes me out, I take Navin out, we're facing the other way.
And so then there's like because we sent it right.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were actually behind us.
Oh, so
we
you're
kind
so
of
far
we
ahead
blocked
of
the
me.
car.
Oh,
We blocked the path.
So they had to like, and then the people came and they're like, boys, be careful, what are you guys doing?
And so
That's
that
so
was one
funny.
time, right?
Yeah.
We spun out the exact same
Yes.
thing like two
Yes.
times in a row. Like,
And then the next race, we didn't hit each other, but at the same time, we both did it 180 at the same time.
we just spun in person.
When
like,
was this? When was this?
Couple
like,
months ago.
Like 4 or 5 months,
Yeah,
4
okay,
months
yeah.
ago, 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was
fun,
it was
it's
so
fun,
fun.
it's very
Like
fun.
yeah.
Good. Wait, you know, for those 22 races, does it change? Like, say next year, is it in a different place?
Yeah, so they have contracts and stuff. So like, let's
Ah.
say I want to race in Australia, I'll sign a contract with them till like 2023. And then whether you renew the contract or not, that's
Like at
up
that
to
venue.
them. So every year the
Ah.
venues change.
Oh, the
Or,
venues.
or they're subject to change.
Yeah,
And the order changes as well.
yeah.
So depending on like what they feel like it.
For example, if the contract expires with like the Melbourne, like
Yeah.
like the track, right?
Yeah.
And they're not willing to renew the contract.
Okay.
Like,
And then-
obviously not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if
Or
they're
if it's
willing
not
to-
up to standards.
if it's not up to standards, they just cull the place. So like the 22 races, how they normally do it, they do it region based because obviously
Yes,
like shipping in and transporting it, it's
Jet
just
lag
gonna
and
be
all of that, yeah.
jet lag and
Big
stuff. So
time.
if they have like the Australia portion, they have like an Asia,
have like a
Europe
European
portion,
portion.
America.
So where is it now?
It's
in Italy. The one today.
Wow.
Why is everyone in like Europe, bro?
Have you guys been to Europe?
No.
I feel like
we'll
Been
go
to
next
Europe?
year.
Yeah, we'll go
then.
next year.
This may be a controversial topic, but I feel like in a sense Europe is the sports capital of the world. I know they'll say America is, but I feel like the passion Europeans show
is, bro.
is crazy. because I follow like football and whatever, and like the passion the British people show, like just not even just British people, like German, Spanish, like, and they're also aware of sports outside. I feel like Americans, in a sense.
What do
like
you?
NFL
What makes
baseball.
you? What made you think that America was maybe the sports capital?
Because I guess in terms of money, I
But
feel
then
like
China, like say Olympics, China
Oh,
is really
yeah,
really good
yeah,
in there.
they're elite.
Like basketball. And
I just feel like with America, all their sports, like there's so much money behind it, and there's
Yeah.
so much like hype
NBA
around
would
it.
Is
be
it
one
just
that's-
because?
like they just assume they're the best in the world, aren't they?
Yeah.
Whoever wins NBA.
Is it just because
Yeah, I guess
America's like fueling Western culture so much that
Yeah.
they are looked at as if they're
I-
the capital? of
Yes, and I also feel like American sports very financially based. as well.
NBA.
It's also because the US dollar has
Super
a big
Bowl.
significance
Yeah,
in
Exactly.
terms
and
of
so they
finance
take
and the whole
advantage of
world,
that.
yeah.
So they will pay like athletes crazy amounts, like LeBron James and stuff get paid crazy amounts, and you will get that in
Well-deserved
football
too,
as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
But I feel like in football, there's more passion in a sense involved as well.
Okay, I think last topic from US, right? You know, recently US Open. I don't know if you guys.
I
know
didn't
about
Yes,
follow
this.
it.
yes,
I didn't-
yes.
No, don't. Dude,
But-
I'm a
Okay.
boomer,
Sad.
bro.
I'm
Little-
sad about that.
Little topic was Nick Kyrgios. You guys would know who
Yeah,
Nick
yeah,
Kyrgios
I love you,
is, right?
Curious.
So he's been doing really well this year. He's been playing really well, and he recently knocked out Medvedev, which is the number 1 seed. He was
Yeah.
the number 1 player, like world number
Yeah.
1. So he knocked him out quarterfinals, I think it was. Was it
No,
quarter?
round of
round
16.
4, round 16. Yeah. So he was favorite to win,
Yeah.
but then he flopped
lost.
against to
It,
Kachanov,
it
which
was a very good game.
Yeah.
It did go to the last set, and there were plenty rackets broken as well.
Yeah.
Which
He got
was
fined.
just
Why?
bang,
Why?
bang.
Why did he flop?
Why did he flop? Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was a flop.
yeah.
I would just
it was
say
5 sets.
I would just say tennis is a game where
Won
you have to
5
kind of
sets?
Yeah,
be
won
on
5
it.
sets,
Like if you're, because 5 sets is a long game. It's
Yeah.
like 3 to 4 hour game. And, like,
Happens like little moments as well.
Like little moments.
Like,
plays
did he
and
play
stuff.
well though?
It was like
I
I
would
didn't watch
still
the
say
full
he
game,
played
but
well.
yeah.
He played well.
I'm sure. It was,
I mean,
yeah.
the fact that it went to 5 sets.
He had the
means something,
chance
right?
to like,
I'm sure
not
he had
win the
hit
game, but he had the
moments
chance
and
to like
stuff,
go ahead and
yeah.
stuff. But because tennis is like one of the very rare sports that you're only on your own. Like you have a team, you have a coach, whatever, but like it's all on you.
Yeah.
And if you're not on it that day, then it's a bit hard.
But yeah, it was because like he actually had a really good chance that tournament to win his first major tournament. So tennis, they have 4 major tournaments. I was Australian Open, US
Yeah.
Open, Wimbledon, Roland Garros. So those are the 4 big comps. So he had an actual chance to win his first one because he's never won one. And he's always been a good player, but he's always been that, you know, like that bad kid everyone talks about, like always
bad
that
boy.
drama.
Can
yeah.
you make it to Australian
Fan.
Open finals? Right?
Wimbledon final.
Yeah.
Wimbledon final.
Yeah, Wimbledon.
Wait, if he
he
beat
lost.
that guy, would he have had a
Well,
good chance
no,
to win?
Because he would have moved on
he
to the
was
semi-final.
favourites. He was favourites
Oh.
anyways after beating the
'Cause-
world number 1. So,
Yeah.
Nadal wasn't playing.
yeah.
The world number 1
Yeah.
got lost.
Damn.
Djokovic wasn't allowed to
Oh,
play
because
as
of
well because of
COVID?
COVID. So.
I'd be smashing my racket as well then.
Yeah, so he got fined. So after the match, he was smashing his rackets, and he got fined like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
because, well, I mean, like
Sportsmanship?
sportsmanship, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Bro, I get it, bro.
yeah. So
Have
yeah,
you
I
ever
get it.
smashed
People-
anything? Like
If we do
just
waffle
No.
and tennis, Andrew's just gonna be smashing his
Bro,
racket.
like
You get it in the
it
moment.
doesn't
'cause you
doesn't
had-
put you guys off, does it? It puts off like old people and.
I guess so.
babies and
Yeah,
stuff.
because tennis
I
is more
guess-
like a respect
Yeah,
kind of
that's
sport.
what I'm
People
saying.
think of
Tennis
it. Like,
is, especially Wimbledon. Even in Wimbledon, he had a few controversies. It's like, it's very calm, relaxing. But like, even
Yeah.
when you're playing, if you talk during the point, you will get
exactly
kicked out.
right. Because
Yeah, yeah.
I was discussing this
Really?
as well, where like
Yeah.
everyone they need to be silent while the
Like,
game is being
Bro,
played.
aren't they freaking making noises when
Yeah,
they?
they're making
but the
noises.
crowd has to be dead
So
silent.
like,
But there's no sport that's like that. Basketball, you never see them
You're
just
like,
not
"Ah!"
saying anything, right?
like if you're in a tennis
So,
match
so
and
you go to a
scream,
tennis match and it's like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then
yeah.
maybe at most
and then
you
once
cheer,
they
right?
once they win the point, then you cut.
Right,
the
yeah, that's the
crowd.
trick.
But
And
then
it-
it's silent.
and if you scream during it, if you're like, they'll be
Bro.
like, who was it? Who
yeah,
was
and
it?
then you get
that
kicked
guy.
out and stuff
That's
like
actually
that. So-
insane.
that's
Like-
anal.
Actually,
man.
speaking of US Open, did you guys see the Gideon video?
No, what did
He
he do
was
this time?
at the Kyrgios game,
Did he yell?
getting a haircut during the game.
Gideon's
And
the
it came on news,
best,
like,
man.
It showed it to him.
Yeah.
And this guy's just sitting there getting a haircut, and he's like, "How's it going?" The commentator's like, "Oh, someone's decided to get a haircut." And it's just him sitting there, like, "Yeah, cut the sides short." And he doesn't have hair; he's bald, and he's still getting a
Gideon's
haircut.
the best,
so
bro. I
funny.
love him so much.
It came
Oh
on
my
like
God.
channel.
Wait, but he
70.
doesn't get kicked out.
No, he did.
He did get
They
that.
probably did.
Oh
It
my
was so funny.
God.
You see, even the players are like, "What's going on?" There's some dude getting a haircut.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's funny. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it.
Covered
For
most
episode.
topics.
Yeah.
But yeah, also thank you guys for the
Thank you.
unlimited
a lot.
support, love, and any feedback is appreciated. We did post our first podcast
Quite recently, yeah.
It was our first one, but you guys seem to love it. So if you guys want to see more, like any
Yeah.
different types of videos,
And open to like any sorts of feedback. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
like this is something that's new to us, as well as like viewers. Like you're watching us new for the first time too. So like any feedback appreciated. Go on waaflmn.com for our blessed or messed segments or ask the Waflmn segments where you can ask us questions or submit your situations.
even about the podcast,
Even
just
about the
anything,
podcast
yeah.
or anything in general. Really appreciate the feedback and support we've been getting on IG, TikTok, Spotify,
Instagram Reels.
Instagram,
DM
stuff
us.
like that. DM us, yeah.
No, it's
so
been good fun.
DM us.
so
please, yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And
Because what we
yeah,
do
yeah.
is to entertain,
Exactly.
and if we're entertaining you
Be ourselves and
entertaining
Bro,
ourselves,
it's the
that's what
longest
that-
outro ever.
And we have to make it up for like the short
It's
intro
like
we
Indians
had.
saying
We're
bye.
gonna-
Have you ever seen Indians? Yes. Like, bye, mum, bye, mum, bye, mum. I'll say 8 times before we actually hang up.
And then when you stand outside,
And then we
you
stand outside
talking
talking
to
to
them.
them.
Still talk.
All
Okay,
right.
anyways.
But anyways,
Cheers, guys. Have a
See
good
ya.
one. Thank you.
Alright.
take care.